All right, let's talk about something that can be a huge source of stress for so many parents: mealtime. We're going to dive into how you can turn all that anxiety into a fun journey of discovery and give you the tools to help your little one explore the amazing world of food. Sound good? Let's get started. Okay, does this feel familiar? The high chair is basically a battlefield, right? The spoon is your weapon, and every single bite of broccoli feels like this hard-won victory. Or, let's be honest, more often, a crushing defeat. If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are so not alone. But here's the thing. What if we just changed our perspective? This is probably the most important first step you can take. You're not actually fighting a picky eater who's trying to make your life difficult. Nope. Think of yourself as the guide for a brave little explorer, a palate pioneer, really, who's discovering this whole new world of tastes and textures for the very first time. So to be a good guide, you've got to understand the terrain, right? So in this first section, we're going to dig into the why behind your baby saying no to food. And here's a spoiler. It's almost never personal. It's all about their development. Okay, so let's break down some of these totally normal reasons. You've got that fear of new foods. That's when your baby gives that suspicious side eye to a blueberry. Then there's sensory development. I mean, that's just them learning about the world by squishing avocado through their fingers. And that desire for autonomy, oh yeah, that's the classic, nope, head turn away from the spoon. And finally, testing cause and effect. That's your little scientist, dropping food from the high chair just to see what happens. See, all of this stuff is crucial for their development. It's not just defiance. Let's zoom in on that first one, because it's a biggie: neophobia. Now, this isn't just your baby being fussy. This is a deep, built-in survival instinct. Think about it. For our ancestors, being wary of a new, unknown plant could literally save them from being poisoned. So, when your baby looks at a piece of kiwi like it might attack them, their brain is just running some really ancient protective software. Understanding that, well, it changes everything. All right, so now that we get the why, let's get to the how. This next section is your practical playbook. We're talking actionable tools for turning meal times from stressful to, well, maybe even fun. So here are 5 key steps for a much more peaceful food exploration. First up, you've got to model the behavior. If they see you enjoying those green beans, it registers as safe and interesting. Number 2, offer but don't force. A tasting plate is brilliant for this. Put a favorite food next to something new. Zero pressure. Third, keep it super small. A single pea is way less scary than a whole tile. Fourth is all about repeat exposure. And trust me, we're going to see just how important that is in a minute. And finally, number 5, embrace the mess. Seriously, squishing, smearing, playing, that's how they learn what food is. And this slide just illustrates that central idea perfectly. You have got to lower the pressure. Look at the stuff on the left. Saying you don't have to eat it gives your kid power and autonomy. Praising them for just licking a new food builds bravery. But the tactics on the right, they turn mealtime into a total power struggle. You know, hiding vegetables can actually create mistrust. And bribing them with dessert, that just teaches them that dinner is a chore you have to get through to get to the good stuff. Okay, let's talk about the single most important ingredient in this entire recipe. And guess what? It has absolutely nothing to do with the food on the plate. It's all about you and your mindset. Take a look at this number, 15. That's right, 15. That's roughly how many times a baby might need to see, touch, or smell a new food before they even think about trying it. So if you've offered broccoli like 3 times and given up, you're just getting started. This number right here is your permission slip to be patient, to be persistent. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I just love this quote. It completely reframes your job description at the dinner table. You are not a short order cook. You are not a food enforcer. You are a provider of opportunities. That's it. Your job is to create a safe, positive environment and offer healthy food. And then, and this is the hard part, you have to let go. Your child is in charge of what and how much they eat from the choices you've provided. Okay, so let's boil this all down. We're going to wrap up with the key takeaways that you can start using tonight at your very next meal. Here it is, your 3 golden rules. First, reframe your role. You're a calm, cool, confident food tour guide, not a stressed out cook. Second, be patient, like insanely patient. Remember that number, 15, and just keep offering without any pressure. And that leads to number 3, remove the pressure. Your only job is to offer the food. Their job is to decide if and what they eat. That right there, that's the core of building a healthy, lifelong relationship with food. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if the goal wasn't a clean plate? What if, instead, the goal was just a curious palate? Imagine if we celebrated them just touching a new food or smelling it or even just letting it sit on their plate without a fuss. What if that was the win? Shifting our goal from a clean plate to a curious palate can change absolutely everything and turn those mealtime battles into moments of, you know what, maybe even joyful discovery.